progress and forge unity, the African National Congress Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, COSATU President Dumo Dlamini, and Public Enterprise Minister Lynn Brown will address the Central Committee. ANC Secretary General Gwede Mantashe is currently addressing the meet. Let's go live.
Itwana ya musesa I felt usebenza imayina nencane kuthiwa iDelmas, you know. Comrade Spoons, General Secretary, ake usheba kari utokoloshi yamachiti wena. Zonke officials za-NUM ndizezwa andikubizi ngegama ngoba ndiyazi uba sawuxabana xa ndifika kwinto yaseBotswana, but ke sawuxabana at that point. Leadership and the whole NEC of the NUM, leaders of our alliance partners, the Communist Party, Comrade Soli, yazibona mine workers ziyaresonate nale rebellious behavior yakho. Yazibona ziyavuya ukuthi hayi Soli. Those are mine workers ke Soli. Yabona ka soqaleke, never let them down. They can do something very serious about you. COSATU Comrade Stumo, bonile pa last week. Hey. Egon why? Ukukhokhela kunzima. Uncedwe ngospoons nangoku balamini. Wakunqandela sendikhona hayi usekhathazweni enkulu kakhulu. Andazi noba zikhona ii-comrades zesango. Uba zikhona ndiyazithanda nazo. I-affiliates zeCOSATU zonke ndivile kubizwa apho president be-unions ngokwahlukana kwazo. Thank you very much. International guests, zonke international guests ezikhoyo apha. We are very happy to have with you here and all invited guests. More important than everybody else, the delegates to the Central Committee. The Deputy President was invited as the guest speaker here. Today is a three-line whip in Parliament. That's why I doubt if you'll see Ulin here today. Here. I don't think she will be here. It's a three-line whip. A three-line whip is when every parliamentarian must be in Parliament. If you are not there, you get charged by the ANC. Unless you get special permission from a man called Jackson Mthembu. If he says no, you can't leave. That goes to the Deputy President as well. He is under the command of Jackson Mthembu. Jackson Mthembu is the chief whip of the majority party. Then, before he told me that he's not coming here, I was told by Mail and Guardian, you know, Haibu. Mna bese prepared to uthetha phaa kwi-night vigil. Kake email and Guardian yeza kuma hey man. Kuthiwa wena udeploye uDeputy President because you are very angry that you are talking at night. Haibo. And I asked, what anger is that? And I said, no, I must ask the NUM never to relegate itself to be tail bearers. Yayazi tail bearers ke. Ngaba bantu bayilaleni t-shirts bahamba bathi uvile bathini. Uvile bathini. Those are tail bearers. You can't have a leadership here and being tail bearers. It's a very important union. And then I was asked yesterday to come here. I'm here now. Secondly, because I had to prepare my input quickly, you will have to be patient with me, because I don't normally say the same things that other people say. I give you a perspective that you must think. I take this as a contribution to the debates, to the Central Committee. I ain't gonna lie. Now, today, comrade, our movement is going through the most difficult period in a long time. I think there are few instances in the history of the ANC in its 105 years that we have had this difficult period. I think one close to this was the 30s, when Piksika Isaiah Seme was the president, and the ANC almost collapsed, almost. The second one was the turbulence in the late 60s that culminated into the Morogoro conference. Now, those are two times I can think maybe where problems revolve around a president would be during the time of Moroka, President Moroka, Dr. Moroka, who left full soldiers in court and had his own lawyer when there was a treason trial. So we're going through such a difficult period today as the movement. The alliance is in disarray. Let me tell you, I describe this as an alliance in disarray, but I qualify it. I say it is in disarray by design. In the sense that instead of appreciating our responsibility as the alliance leadership, we're entering a beauty contest in the public domain. And when we do that, we are going to be in disarray. Now, I'm going to explain this. The ANC is under siege with all forces, including allies believing that there is only one solution to our challenge, that of President Jacob Zuma stepping down. Yes. Niyaqoba ngoku. I'm sure kaze ndinicakisela lento ndiyithethayo nizawundihawula. Now, a suggestion here is that don't clap so that you will not have the right to boo me. Okay. Now, this includes a body in the ANC itself, this subject has been discussed in the ANC many times. Let me give you our feedback. And the conclusion we took it is that If we do that now, we'll tear the ANC apart. Yes. That is what we came to. We analyzed it, we came to it, we tried to, in November there was a discussion specifically about this matter. In the last NEC there was a similar discussion. We all came to one conclusion that let's dare do that, we'll tear the movement apart. We'll have instant satisfaction and happiness, but it will take us much longer to pick up the pieces of the movement. It will plunge the ANC into deeper chaos, with structures of the movement divided in many regions. Now, I can tell you, you are from all the provinces of the ANC, all of you. You will know that if we do that, we'll split KZN into two immediately. You all know that in the Northwest there will be chaos. You all know that in the Free State there will be disaster. You all know that in a number of regions, I can go through them one by one. Having done that analysis in details, comrade, we said we must not be adventurous in dealing with this issue and plunge ourselves into a chaos. And if we do that, comrade, everybody will clap for us, everybody will be happy for us, but the movement will be teared apart immediately. Now, and the formation of COPE, comrade, which we saw when we recall President Thabo Mbeki, will be like a Sunday picnic. Now, therefore, the option we opted for was investing everything in trying to build unity of the movement and work for a successful conference in December and engage in discussion that will help us reinstill confidence in the movement, elect a leadership in December that will still instill confidence of society. And we think that that formula will work much better for us than rushing now, because everybody is shouting, Zuma must go, and we all go, say, Hamba, Zuma, and get into a crisis. We think that the systematic method of working towards a successful conference in December, elect a leadership that will send a message that it is not about this is a luta continua. Looting will continue. It should be in the exercise of electing leadership, elect a leadership that will send a message that, listen, we are serious about stopping corruption and looting in the state. And that is the option we have taken, comrade. You have a right to say it's a wrong option, but we're telling you our honor, because sometimes I have a sense that people think that we're just avoiding the subject. We're not just avoiding the subject. One time, Comrade Pondi, utikum ya upolisile wena. Policy. Now, did you, Comrade Pondi? Pondi, I don't have the courage and the character of apologizing for anything. You should know me better. I confront issues, I take them to the organization, they get discussed in the organization. Once the organization takes a decision, I learned that here in the NUM. Once the organization takes a decision, I have no view of my own. Now, it's a very painful thing, I must also tell you that. There are times when a decision is taken, you pronounce that decision. Sometimes you feel that you don't even believe what you are saying, but you must say it because it's a decision. Kamala Londo ke kutwa organizational discipline and loyalty to your own decisions. If you are not loyal to your decisions, you can't be trusted with anything. It's as simple as that to me. You're part of a meeting, your views, they get defeated, you go out and you go all over and tell people, this is the decision, but my view is, no. You are part of that meeting, that decision is taken, your view did not prevail. That decision is binding on you, you will propagate it enthusiastically as if it is your original idea. Now, and this process, if one has patience and capacity to engage others, if you don't do that, even if you have a position firm, then even you pronounce up, you're not part of the structures of the ANC. Because if you are structures of the ANC, Comrade Matos, I would be busy formulating a charge against you already. But now I can't, no. I can't. And actually, many comrades in the alliance broadly think that our approach is a waste of time. And I can tell you, comrade, history is going to prove us correct in our approach. Okay. Now, that's why when you get the role played by a structure of the ANC called the ANC Youth League, you will see that doesn't fit to the approach of the ANC because our own youth league has decided to be henchmen who get unleashed into individual comrades. Now, you see, when you have a structure like that, you must actually appreciate that you are almost having no structure. Okay. Because that structure is not going to play its rightful role. It will be henchmen used to be unleashed on individual candidates and create enemies that do not exist. You see, this week I listened to them. I've been calling them and engaging them. I decided to keep quiet. I think they have been told their project is Ramaphosa and Pravin. Those are not their enemies. Those are not enemies of the revolution. But they are doing what the Youth League did to President Mbeki. It did that to me many times. I don't mind that when it is me. It did that to Comrade Khalima. It did this to Comrade Zuma. And it becomes their trademark to be henchmen unleashed on individual cadres of the movement. And my own view is that, comrade, that is not going to be helpful either. We'll deal with that internally. It is the anger, comrade, and impatience that makes our comrade believe that a divorce between the ANC and the Communist Party is to our interest. Comrade Solia has a view on this matter that if he's sent to deliver a divorce decree, I will not receive it. I will refuse to take it. Comrade Sol, we are as Muslim. basoze ndiyithatha i-divorce decree ye-Communist Party to the ANC. Nor will I ever deliver a divorce decree ye-ANC to the Communist Party, because it's a formula that is exciting, but it is a formula, comrade, that will accelerate both the party and the ANC losing power. Hopefully we'll form a coalition. Okay. Now I'm old-fashioned, you know. Yabona ngoni laba ndimandibusa abanye abobhubesi obani onkomo, yabona. Ndimdala mos. Not young. We're indoctrinated over and over ukuthi as revolutionaries we have a responsibility to corrode the social base of the enemy and broaden the social base of the liberation forces. Anything that corrodes the social base of liberation forces is not in the interest of the revolution. Walking away from problems that face the movement is not bravery. I don't want to say it's cowardice, but I'm inviting all of you to be part of finding a solution to the challenges facing the movement. Once a position coincides with that of the enemy, we're taught we must revisit our position and scrutinize it. That process must precede the stage where you talk truth and tell truth, even if it coincides with the views of the enemy. That is at the tail end. When you have scrutinized, checked, and you are sure that the position is correct, but once it coincides with the views and the position of the enemy, it is suspicious. When I was go school, school says about to vele America, no way if you come wrong. And it won't hello comrades. So Americans wrong. No, it's a qualification. It's not an ideological issue. So it can be wrong. So that's where we come from. That is what makes us of the people who are old-fashioned. When the opposition is in a hurry, that and our position coincides with that, it may be the truth that coincides with that of the enemy. But it is very suspicious because it plays into the program of the enemy. Now, yabona kumayimane because mncinci and he has no experience. Uyaphunyukelwa. Ati, it's not about removing Zuma, it's about removing the ANC. Okay. Uyaphunyukelwa mntana mncinci. Kawe ngabelungu pa kuthi. Amkakula belungu pa uthetha isizwe bamreversisa yona phinda abuyele kuyi be flip flop. Kodwa uclear ngento eyi-one ukuthi it is not only about removing Zuma, it's about removing the ANC from power. We have a responsibility to defend that space. Now, this does not mean we must close our eyes to the serious issues facing the movement. State capture is a reality. It's not theory. It's a theoretical concept. It's a reality. You know, the Communist Party, one thing that I love it for, the clarity of analysis. The state capture, yasinika stages, yasiqala into kuthiwa corporate capture. Ipart. Corporate capture is when a company owns you as an individual, you are a leader. When you go to political meeting, you become a proxy of their business interests. Ikufande, ikunike zonke izinto, ifund program yakho, ifund dirty tricks against your imagined enemies in the movement. Then that's corporate capture. But once the deploy state, the run state, of by infrastructure yami state, I use it to protect and promote interest of business interests. That is what we call state capture. State siya dissolve, siphele singabikho, sibekho ngegama. Then state asikho decisions that was somewhere. As it depends, first that decision, we are a sounding board. State capture is. Ubangaba, if business interests don't like me, I'm sure Uba indicate you in the minister or the deployed. Tinga ketwa ngenkonfeni. Ngekudala bansusa kula office yami. Abefika pa. Bathi kabefika ndithi phumani ngalameni bengene ngawo. Phumani nangu pum nangu umnyango. Just to protect that heart of the ANC. Ukuthi it must not be a playing ground. I can boast so ukuthi for 10 years I have succeeded in that. Okay. Akukho ngambani engathi capture office ye Secretary General ANC. Banye they manufacture stories. Hayi une catering contract ESCOM 1.4 billion. Mabatshela megawatt bobuqala ba I catering contract yasekusile nasemuduphini kwebani. Ibidvest is not Mantashe iseneni yayo. Okay. But they will put this thing, by repeat over and over. Une contract enkulu 1.4 billion. Ndiyabaxelela enye journalist izolo xa ndibuza le. Ndiye man, ukungofana bene 1.4 billion ngendlela apha. Sekudala nayo uhlala ecala nje mana lichoza la ndibuza ndiliphi 1000 rand. Ndike ngicela ndimali ndiliphi 1000 rand. That's what I would be doing. But because we're in a silly season, abantu bafuna uprotecta, xa uthetha nge-skate capture, uthetha nge-Guptas, kuthethwe nge-white monopoly capital. Do you get my point? Kuthi xa kuthiwa abantu ku-corruption, kuthi une-contract nawe, ayikho phofu. Now, it's a season that is very dirty. And it requires abantu abanomqolo, abantu abanefele eli-thick. Must have a thick skin, who's absorb in your stride. Ezondo. Good work to hey, you have Mantashe, Uchongo, good no, hey, listen, I've brought Mantashe. You collapse the concept. Because I bought a rich, but yeah, you have Mantashe. No. Guys, listen here. I have not Mantashe. You collapse. Now, those are politics, comrade, at their best. You know, Comrade Matos, Komnyunyaka Pakbulawa, Dr. Verwoerd. He was the leader of the Nationalist Party. Second in command was Ben Schoeman. And Ben Schoeman didn't ascend to power after the death of Verwoerd. He's a bureaucrat, did exactly what is happening now. Yoguti, contestation, zizam ukudikithet about individuals. And they compromised. Uskuman zama zomblackmailer to his wife. Wanigazela uskuman, if it's like this, I'm giving up, I don't want this thing with Mka. Sangeni secure because I want to Ben Foster. The terrain is not different. The terrain is not different. Securocrats are going to dictate on everybody. Who they see is going to be an obstacle to their program and their agenda. And it requires boldness. Now, our view is that, comrade, lesivumelana ngayo ye-Judicial Commission of Inquiry into State Capture must happen. You know, importance of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry is that you are making an effort to establish truth from facts. Because, when they are narratives, it's a mixture of truth and half-truths and lies. They constitute a narrative. Push the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, when evidence, we dig truth from facts. Then when we take action, we can be firm and be scientific. Now, I think, comrade, that is one point that I'm emphasizing. In few weeks' time, we're going to the policy conference. The policy conference is an opportunity for all of us to retrace what brings us together. You know, what brings us together is not state capture. It's not any other scandal and another scandal. Scandals don't bring us together. The policy conference gives us an opportunity to trace what brings us together. Igama lalando that brings us is called the National Democratic Revolution. Iyo le iyasidibanisa. Iyasixelela ukuthi we must deal with the basic three interrelated contradictions of the colonialism of a special type: racial oppression, super exploitation of working people, particularly black workers, nenaba. I can say ukuthi nemnyama kakhulu. Biniphukuza unibona futhi awaflama. Namagwangqa mathathu mane. Ndiyawubona ngamagwangqa akhoyo apha alapha kwi-international gas. Akekho pha. Namagwangqa. That is, the third thing is patriarchal power relations in society. So, I hear, Matosa, the theorization of a radical economic transformation. Okay. I have one test for it, only. Does it resolve these contradictions? If it does not, whether we talk about it being ownership, control systems, and talk about the majority, if we don't address these three contradictions, a program is not radical. So, the policy conference is sneaky too back, comrade, logote. He has resolved. The revolution is about the liberation of Africans in particular and blacks in general. Particularly the poor.
ANC Secretary General Gwede Mantashe addressing the NUM Central Committee, touching on a number of issues there.